Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this Tuesday morning, the day after Memorial Day. Hope everyone had a great weekend and getting ready to watch some good outdoor television show with the process we have here has just been proven very effective, and for all the feedback I get from y'all. So thank y'all for watching. Looking today at the weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and hard-working crew taking care of our everyday comfort needs. High 86, low 72. Water temperature jumped up 1 degree up to 83 degrees. Get ready for this, folks. The river readings brought to us by Panama City Coca-Cola. I don't have them this morning. Out of 260 shows a year, I'll probably do them 258 shows, but I don't have them. I apologize for that. We'll get them for you tomorrow, okay? But it's going down. We haven't had a lot of rain. Both rivers are falling. I can tell you that just from looking at nature. So we'll have them for you tomorrow. Wind direction is coming out of the west about 11 this morning. So we're going to do a real short weather because we have a couple of special guests here. Some really good information you're going to enjoy. So let's take a break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Our two special guests this morning drove all the way over from Santa Rosa, Choctawhatchee Bay, and we appreciate y'all coming on. This is Bobby and Doug. Bobby Lyles, welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
And Bobby. Doug and Bobby. Okay,
Doug
here we
Lyles
go.
And Bobby Sissenbach.
All right, and let's start with you first and tell the folks a little bit about yourself and what's going on.
All right, so I'm a commissioner of mosquito control in South Walton, builder and active outdoorsman, love to fish and have a background in microbiology. Actually studied flesh-eating bacteria back in the day at graduate school.
At what school?
University of Mississippi.
Ole Miss, and I know about my grandkids at Ole Miss, so we hit it off really good to start off with. But to get a degree in that, a master's degree back in the day like that, you know a lot, and you're scientifically based. So we'll leave it at that. So you know a lot, okay? So. And you're a builder.
And I'm a builder also, so I've got kind of both sides covered.
Okay. Bob, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I've been a local here all my life, and an avid fisherman and outdoorsman. And I'm a mechanical engineer working over at Eglin Air Force Base. And I went to Alabama though, in Florida. So,
okay. We'll cover that too, because my daughter went to Alabama and I went to Florida.
There you go.
So we got to get a bond here already.
Yeah,
so we all love the outdoors. We all love to fish. So y'all tie in with that, I know.
Yep.
So
I went to Alabama and then came down here. Moved off for school and came back and worked here ever since.
And fished around that Choctawhatchee Bay area your whole life?
Yes, I have. Yep.
So you got some secret spots and all. We won't tell them, but
okay. We'll trade some later.
And you know how we got a lot of viewers over there in South Walton and over there, Choctaw Beach and everything. So tell us about what's going on and what brings you on to Panhandle Outdoors.
So the reason I'm here is I have two friends that had flesh-eating bacterial infections they obtained from getting in Choctawhatchee Bay last year, and both of them almost died, and both of them had amputations. And so the irony of that, I studied that back in the day, this was in the 80s, and then it's come up again. I am compelled to bring this message forward. So Bobby will tell his story, but his leg was amputated as a result of an infection he got. And if there was a message out there to tell people, hey, our water is polluted in Choctawhatchee Bay, you need to be careful, and especially if you've got a cut, you need to clean it off immediately because this progresses very rapidly. And if he had known that, he might not have had to go through the amputation. So that's the reason we're here. If even one person hears this and their child has a cut and gets in the bay, and they immediately clean it off and take it as a serious occurrence right off the bat, then they can avoid what Bobby had to go through.
Wow. And
we need to clean our bay up, and that we'll talk about that later.
And really what we're saying in Choctawhatchee Bay is all throughout the Panhandle now. We've talked about flesh-eating bacteria before. And Bobby, what happened?
Yeah. As last August, I was fishing off the shore, and I was wading out, casting my bait out, and I did that 3 times that night. So I was probably in the water less than 2 minutes total, and I had a scratch on my leg, or a cut that I didn't know about, and got done fishing, caught some redfish that night, so that was good. And came home, and 2 days later, my leg just started swelling up, and didn't know what was going on. Went to the emergency room, and they gave me some antibiotics, and I came home and didn't think much of it, and things just progressively got worse. And it was very rapid. Within 6 days, my leg was all swollen, real bad and painful. So I ended up going to Gainesville and getting treatment out there, and I had that below knee amputation. But I'm just thankful to be here, because thankful to be alive, because
Wow.
it was very scary there for a little while. But just want to preach awareness and make people aware. And
I mean, you just get in the water for a couple of minutes.
yeah, right.
And how deep? Knee deep?
Yeah, probably knee deep. Yeah.
And
I think I had a scratch on my leg from the dog.
yeah.
But I'd never even heard of it. The particular bacteria I had was Vibrio vulnicis. So, but people just need to be aware and take the right precautions to mitigate the risks. So.
Yeah. You know, we take pride on Panhandle Outdoors by having real people on real things and all. This is a classic case right here of this situation. We've talked about it before, but we've never had one on the show that's actually experienced it. I know that was last August.
Yep.
It seemed to, is it worse in the summertime?
It is.
Seems to be?
It is.
What can you tell us about it?
So these are naturally occurring bacteria,
Okay.
but they're being supercharged because we're not controlling our stormwater properly. We're using it as a toilet, just whatever is there on our little peninsula there. And this is just South Walton. It's only one piece of the puzzle, but it's our piece. And we are using the mosquito control ditches as stormwater conveyance systems with no regional stormwater lakes, which is what's needed. So these impurities and bacteria have a chance to filter down through the sand and not make it downstream into our very sensitive, Choctawhatchee Bay estuary. But they go directly into the bay, and we've got a lot of development. Walton County is overruling mosquito control and technical review and letting developers fill ditches. We've had this has been reported by other newspapers, so this is not new information. We've talked about it publicly in meetings. We're getting overruled by the county, and they're letting these projects go through that are right on the bay and filling the ditches, and it's going directly in the bay. I've never seen anything like it.
Wow.
And that's the reason I've asked for a federal investigation to get to the bottom of it.
Wow, that's strong. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Here with Doug Lyles and Bobby from over here in Choctaw Bay and South Walton, and you heard the experience that Bobby has with the flesh-eating bacteria last August, and it's, we're glad you're here. I know it was a close call.
Yeah,
it really was.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. And Doug is trying to make us all aware, and some of us know about it, but not to the extent of what's going on now, and what a great background he has on with his college work, and then being a builder, and then living there. So we have, I mean, you can see it all. You got a great view of it.
That's the reason I'm sounding the alarm.
That's good for you. Now you sent me some pictures last night, so let's to prove what I'm talking about. So look at this picture right here. What's going on here?
So when we have not had a rain for a while, we've got more chemicals that are on the roads and sidewalks and different developments that are there, and then we've got, we call it first flush, right, when we have the first rain. And these are, this effluent, the stormwater is going directly into the bay, and we have these kills when it times a certain time. Wow. And those fish were not placed there. That was just my little section right there where it dumps into the bay.
Oh, wow.
And seeing how it was concentrated more where the stormwater's coming out, more of the deaths were there. It made me start thinking about, well, what's in these fish? And that's where I got the idea to take the samples of the fish that we caught there at the mouth of the the stormwater coming out and send them off for analysis.
Okay, and folks, you look at fish. You see speckled trout, mullet, and all kind of bait fish in here. So you said, what was the analysis on them?
So this was, that picture was taken a few years back. The analysis just came in 2 days ago. So it was good timing for being here. We didn't know we were going to have that then. But there's only a couple of companies in the United States that are certified to do testing on PFAS compounds. So PFAS compounds are known as forever chemicals, and the alert levels set by the EPA, which is the federal government, are set at 0.02 parts per trillion with a T.
Oh.
So anything above that, there would be an alert.
Yeah.
So we caught the, I don't know if you showed the one or not, but we caught the catfish. I have to give credit to Julie, my girlfriend. She caught 13 catfish that day, and I took samples of the liver and sent them off to a lab who processed them, then sent them to another lab, and did the whole chain of custody thing. So it was done so it could be accepted.
Okay, so here it is right here, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it right
It
here.
was done in a way using best practices so it could be accepted, in an investigation, for example, which is what this is.
Scientific.
And the levels came back over 60,000 parts per trillion.
Wait a minute, you said that it was 0.02.
Right. So that's
60,000?
That's 3 million times higher. Now, having said that, I'm a scientist, and I have to say this is one report, and we did it the best way we could. We used best practices, but what I'm calling for is an investigation to either confirm or not the results on these.
Okay, here, I mean, look at these catfish. They look great. Don't they look like you want to have a big cookout and everything? But so what did y'all do?
We took the livers and we did not eat those catfish. We don't eat catfish out of the bay. The people who've been living there a while know better. Now, I have eaten a lot of other fish that have come out of there, but not catfish. But now I'm wondering, what we should be eating that comes out of there.
Okay, let's give credit to the fisher lady who caught these fish. So.
Yeah, that's Julie. She caught all 13 of them. So
congratulations, Julie.
She was my photographer when I was doing the
dissection.
Yeah,
the dissection. Yeah,
that's a great picture. I know it's enjoyable doing that. So that's almost shocking news to see that.
Yeah. So the literature, it's 6 times higher than the highest ever recorded.
Oh my goodness.
So. And I called the lab and talked to them, and they said, all right, we went through all these tests. I mean, it's 30-something pages long.
Look at that. Wow.
Yeah. So we have a website, saveourbay.net, where we post information and where people can post things also and sign the petition. And there's a site that I've got a scan code on that you can check PFAS levels. If you're concerned about the fish you're catching, where it's a database where they will give you some information about what's been detected around there. But like I said, this is, I hate to say, I think that Choctawhatchee Bay just set a record, all-time record.
Whoa. And you talked to the people, I mean, were they upset about it? I mean, were they concerned about it too?
Very.
Really?
Very. And I said, are you mandatory reporters? They're like, well, we don't do mandatory reporting because this is new. These are the guidelines for the PFAS chemicals just came out this last summer, and I learned about them in environmental permitting school last July. So
and here's the thing about folks, we're talking to scientists here. We're not just hearsay, so-and-so said this and so-and-so said that. These scientific facts. And we've heard for a good while that there's been some bad spots over there in Choctawhatchee Bay, and I'm really concerned about it. I don't know if I'll eat much fish out of there anymore or not. So
I think we need to expedite an investigation to find out if we can be eating fish out of there or not.
Yeah, and I know a lot of it starts way up there, up in the northern part of the bay and coming down the river. Some of it does, and some of it's stormwater runoff. So it's probably a combination of everything. Wouldn't you think? Yeah.
There is, and I'm focused on my piece of the puzzle. I would encourage other people to report these things as if you see illicit stormwater discharges. I set up a program with the state. We've had some glitches in it, but we wanted to put 24 real-time biosensors in the bay, because we have the science where we can do this, where we can set up these small buoys. They look nice, and they have telemetry where it feeds into a cloud-based system, and we can get real-time monitoring. But you know what? It's not good for tourism to let people know that it could be dangerous, because people don't want to come down here for that. And then also, it might slow development down, and some of these things that are getting forced down our throat, even though mosquito control's turning it down, the county overrules us and pushes it through. So something's got to give.
Folks, we talk about this all the time, about our elected officials, what kind of people we have to vote for and get them in office to take care of our environment, take care of outdoors. And this is a great example of what we're talking about right here. So we're going to take a break, come back in the final segment. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Glad you're with us this morning. Let's take a look at our fishing game time brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. The time this morning, 4:03 to 6:03. This afternoon, 4:30 to 6:30. We'll get back with our guest, Doug Lyles, here with a fishing buddy, Bobby. And you were telling me you were a water tester for a while. Tell us about that real quick.
Yeah, so I was a water tester for Choctawhatchee Basin Alliance, which is volunteers. Group of good people trying to do some good things, but you can only go so far with the volunteer budget. But I did that for 10 years. Draper Lake was my body of water, tested every month for 10 years, had my whole family come out and help me.
That's awesome, and that's similar. I was saying under Bay Watch here, and all of our bay systems, we talked about it before, we need to have these bay watches, and thank you for doing that. Bobby, again, you grew up in this area, loved to wade out there and fish. I mean, all of us wade out there all the time and fish. So,
I never dreamed that I'd go through that situation. I figured I'd be immune to it, you know.
Yeah.
Growing up in this water, but I just want to reiterate that as temperatures get elevated, you run more risk of getting the flesh-eating bacteria. So, just want to make everybody aware and be careful. And if you do get in the water, make sure you clean it real good when you get back home.
Any kind of scratches or whatever you have on you, and you were in there only a couple of minutes,
Yep.
and that's amazing. And fortunately, I know sadly you lost your leg, but fortunately you survived.
That's right.
So
Yep.
we wanted what a great testimony. We don't want this to happen to anybody else. So be aware of that,
Right.
parents and
Right.
all of us, because we get scratches all the time.
Yes.
Now, how can they get a hold of helping you? What can they do?
We have a website, saveourbay.net. You can go there and contact me. If you see anything, any illicit stormwater discharge, it'd be good to report that. We're trying to create a database.
Okay.
And I don't know if this will show up or not, but there's a scan code on the
Okay.
this is a EPA site for PFAS, which is what this report is on, which we have a disturbingly high level in our fish. So you can learn more on that government site.
We have a lot of viewers over there in South Walton, so y'all need to be aware of this. We're very good. I've got a couple more pictures here. Tell us about, Doug, tell us about this one here. What is this?
So this is mosquito control ditch number 10 that dumps directly into the Choctawhatchee Bay, and I know about that site. It's near and dear to me because that's where I caught the fish that had the very high levels of these forever chemicals in them.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. And
so yeah, that's another one. That's
so
there's bad stuff in there. So we don't test it. Mosquito control doesn't test it. It's outside our mandate. We do source reduction, not water quality, and then that's led to a lot of the problem. We've got some sediment issues. You can see looking at satellite photos as well.
Well, okay, we got a picture here. Tell us about this one, maybe.
Yeah, this one was just kind of showing where the ditches empty in. I had the director, Darren, our director of mosquito control, get this together for us. The purple doesn't show up as well, but basically we know where there's point sources, where there's 15 different discharge points where untreated stormwater and its contaminants are being dumped directly in the bay. It's escalating because we're growing so fast, and we're on a peninsula. I mean, it's going directly in the bay, and it's causing a lot of issues.
I don't know if you noticed, that was Chat Holly Road. Y'all know we talked a lot about Chat Holly, one of the early settlers of the area that down there. So great history there. I want to thank y'all. We've got a couple minutes left still, but you got a point there. All over the Florida Panhandle now, we're getting squeezed in and developing. And I know you're a developer, but you are a responsible developer. You know the ponds, you know the things you have to do, right?
Yes, you have to use best practices, and you have to be diligent about protecting downstream estuaries. I mean, the reason we live here is because, you know, many of us, because we love the outdoors, we love what Northwest Florida is about, but we've got so much development, there's so much money involved, there's very limited oversight. The county claims that no storm water goes into the bay from the mosquito control ditches. As a matter of fact, on their MS4 permits that they report to the EPA, they say that there's no mosquito control ditches that are putting water into the bay.
You just saw the pictures.
That's the reason we're asking for them to come in.
You have property right there, right? Don't you?
Yes.
So
it's real.
You have this situation here that have real life, a testimonial, and he's brave enough to come over and talk about it. And we've got to speak out, folks. You got to go to county commission meetings. You got to say flat out, we're not putting up with this. And I get angry about it sometimes. I really do.
I think it's to the point where that's what it's going to take. It's like I told somebody the other day that was pushing back against it. It was our attorney in one of the meetings. It's like I had two friends that had amputations last year from flesh-eating bacterial infections. When do we take a stand? I need 5 friends with amputations and then I'm going to stand up? Wow. It's like it's time to do it now before it's too late.
Wow. And Bob, you're such a testimony to it. You know, again, it's been your lifetime on the bay.
If one person, gets to avoid an amputation, we've done our job.
That's right.
We hope more than hundreds of people.
It's worth the trip over here just if we get one person, and you know what we're talking about, folks. And all of our bay systems throughout the Florida Panhandle, especially in August. But we've got to have folks that speak out, and you've got to speak out. And fortunately, look at a scientist here. Look at his background, and he's a developer, and he's coming over talking about it, and it's just we appreciate this. And one more time, how to get a hold? How can they help out?
Go to saveourbay.net.
Okay, okay, and then tie in with that, and we hope maybe we can get to come back in a little bit later on and see if we have some progress in this area. I know we've got some good loyal viewers over there in South Walton and conscientious people too as far as taking care of the outdoors. So I expect some of y'all to get a hold of Bobby and Doug here. So thank y'all for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
We appreciate it. And y'all got a good fishing trip coming up pretty soon?
We were talking about it on the way over here.
I love it.
We were.
Okay, okay. Well,
we're just not getting in the water.
No, stay in the boat.
Stay in the boat.
Folks, y'all help out on this. Y'all, as always, we close out with this statement here. Enjoy the outdoors. Enjoy our beautiful outdoors, but take care of it. Y'all have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.